Bonjour, c'est Claire à French in the Midlands. Today's lesson is about the past conditional, le conditionnel passé en français. Now, before we go any further, I just want to remind you that you can claim your free ebook, The 12 Golden Rules of French, at the link in the description. It's a short ebook that's packed with tips and tricks on how to sound like a native French speaker. Now, the past conditional describes a past situation that either never happened, may have happened, or did happen, and the person speaking is describing the possibility of something not happening in the past. For example, if I had gone to the party, I would have had a good time. So the I would have had a good time here is the past conditional. If I had gone to the party, we'll use the pluperfect or the past perfect. So in French, the past conditional is made up with être or avoir in the conditional and a past participle. To use the example above in French, si j'étais allé à la soirée, pluperfect, je me serais bien amusé, past conditional. And you notice that we actually use the same tenses in French and English in that sentence. Si j'étais allé, if I had been, je me serais bien amusé, I would have had a good time. Now let's look how to form the past conditional with ER verbs. Let's take manger and aller as an example. J'aurais mangé, which is I would have eaten, and je serais allé, I would have gone. But of course in French, aller being a motion verb will take être in the past. That's why we say je serais and not j'aurais. Okay? Tu aurais mangé, tu serais allé. Il aurait mangé, elle aurait mangé, on aurait mangé. Il serait allé, on serait allé, elle serait allée. Nous aurions mangé, nous serions allés. Vous auriez mangé, vous seriez allés. Ils auraient mangé, elles auraient mangé. Ils seraient allés, elles seraient allées. You notice it's always être and avoir in the conditional. Je serais, j'aurais, plus the past participle. So it's actually not that difficult to form it. Now with ER verbs, it's exactly the same way. Just remember ER verbs end in I in the past participle. Finir will go fini and partir will do parti. J'aurais fini, I would have finished. Je serais parti, I would have left. And again, partir being a motion verb will take être in the past. That's why we say je serais and not j'aurais. And remember, with être, the end of parti will agree with the gender and how many people are talking as well. So that only applies when you write French. When you want to speak it, it doesn't make any difference whether it's there or not. It just sounds the same. Tu aurais fini, tu serais parti. Il, elle, on aurait fini. Il, elle, on serait parti. Nous aurions fini, nous serions partis. Vous auriez fini, vous seriez partis. Ils, elles auraient fini, ils, elles seraient partis. And now let's look at RE verbs. If you remember, RE verbs will take U in the past. Vendre, vendu. Descendre, descendu. J'aurais vendu, I would have sold. Je serais descendu, I would have gone down. And again, same as before, descendre being a motion verb will take être in the past. Tu aurais vendu, tu serais descendu. Il, elle, on aurait vendu. Il, elle, on serait descendu. Nous aurions vendu, nous serions descendus. Vous auriez vendu, vous seriez descendu. Ils, elles auraient vendu, Il, elle serait descendu. Let's have a look what happens when you use a highly irregular verb in that tense, like avoir and être. So let's take avoir, that will change to eu in the past participle, and être will change to été. So j'aurais eu, or j'aurais eu, you can choose to link here or not, means I would have had. J'aurais été, or j'aurais été, means I would have been. Tu aurais eu, tu aurais été. Il, elle, on aurait eu, il, elle, on aurait été. Nous aurions eu, nous aurions été. Vous auriez eu, vous auriez été. Ils, elles auraient eu, ils, elles auraient été. Both avoir and être will take avoir in the past. So that's why they go j'aurais for both of them. Let's have a look at the past conditional form of two more irregular verbs, which are pouvoir and devoir. They're quite highly used in that tense, that's why I chose those. Pouvoir changes to pu, devoir to do. J'aurais pu and j'aurais dû. So j'aurais pu is I could have, j'aurais dû is I should have. Tu aurais pu, tu aurais dû. Il, elle, on aurait pu, il, elle, on aurait dû. Nous aurions pu, nous aurions dû. Vous auriez pu, vous auriez dû. Ils, elles auraient pu, ils, elles auraient dû. Now you know how to form it. The question is, when do we use this tense? There's 4 different situations where you might use it. The first one, probably the most important one, is to express a hypothesis in the past with si, as we've done in the first example. For instance, si j'avais su qu'il ne viendrait pas, je serais resté chez moi. If I had known he wasn't coming, I would have stayed at home. And the I would have stayed, je serais resté, is your past conditional. Si tu m'avais dit que tu voulais un chien, je t'en aurais acheté un. If you had told me you wanted a dog, I would have bought you one. Again, je t'en aurais acheté un, I would have bought you one, is your past conditional. The second use of the past conditional is one that you just don't use in English. It's to express a fact that hasn't been confirmed yet. And the French press write whole articles in that tense when they have no idea whether what they're saying is actually true or not, but they want to make an article out of it. So you'll see phrases such as 3 personnes auraient été kidnappées hier, which would translate as allegedly 3 people were kidnapped yesterday. We still don't know, so you have to put allegedly in English. In French, you switch to the past conditional. Les voleurs seraient entrés par la cave. The burglars are thought to have come in via the cellar. You see, in English, you could say allegedly or are thought to have. You have quite a few ways of expressing uncertainty. In French, not so many, so we tend to use the past conditional. The third use of the past conditional is, just like in English, to express regret or criticism. Tu n'aurais pas dû rentrer si tard. You shouldn't have come back so late. Tu n'aurais pas dû is you shouldn't have. Elle aurait pu l'aider à finir ses devoirs. She could have helped her finish her homework. Or she could have helped him finish his homework. Out of context, we don't know whether the L apostrophe refers to him or her. But she could have. Elle aurait pu. Or she could have been able to. You could say either. Personne n'aurait pu savoir qu'il allait disparaître. Nobody could have known he was going to disappear. Here you could also translate it as nobody was to know he was going to disappear or he would disappear. It's got a few ways of saying it in English. In French, you kind of have to stick with the past conditional. N'aurait pu savoir. Now, the last use of the past conditional is interesting because you just don't do that in English. Again, it's typically a French thing. It's to make a guess or an assumption with au cas où. For instance, je vais répéter au cas où vous n'auriez pas tout entendu. I'll repeat in case you didn't hear everything. So after au cas où, you will use the past conditional. Vous n'auriez pas tout entendu. Elle m'a envoyé un message au cas où j'aurais oublié notre rendez-vous. Same thing here. After au cas où, j'aurais oublié. She sent me a message in case I forgot our appointment. But of course in English it's much easier. You just use the past. And that's it, you're done. And that's it for now. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. À bientôt.